I waited for some time for some movement of the sleeping cousin, but it seemed as if she was sleeping deeply. Then I got more courage. She had taken a sheet over herself, and I was caressing the bedsheet for 15 minutes. I kept caressing the bedsheet like this, but she did not respond. The room was very dark, and the sound of heavy rain from outside was making me nervous. Jack got the courage, and I moved a little further. Now the distance between him and me had reduced, but as soon as I put my hand inside his sheet, he immediately held my hand, and then friends, the full essence of the story. I was crazy, and right now I didn't want to think about anything else except rest, walking, and traveling. But after seeing the fun, the family members used to remember to get all the work done by me. Sometimes you bring vegetables and sometimes the milk is over, but nothing was happening as I had planned, and it seemed more difficult to spend this free time. I made a program of some fun with friends, but everyone had some compulsion or the other. Because of this, even that could not be done. One day, Mother told me to go to my aunt. I've got some things for her, and anyway, your aunt has asked you so many times to come, but you're not going at all. My aunt Gujarat. I used to live in Mumbai, and I never liked going there that much. Hence, I had not gone there for the last 3-4 years, perhaps, otherwise I would have refused. But I thought that in the present situation, let's just do it. After 2 days, uncle. Left for my aunt's house. Aunt's house was in a poor locality of Gujarat. Aunt was very happy to see me, and she was very kind to me. Aunt had 2 children, an elder daughter who would be 3 to 4 years younger than me, and a son who was 7 years old. He was 1 year old. Both the children had gone to school, and the aunts were also not at home. Aunt told that your aunts have been transferred to another city. After getting tired of eating and drinking, I wanted to pass the time. I went to the terrace for this. There was a lot of open space on the terrace. And on one side there were 2 rooms, one of which was made a store, and from the condition of the other room, it seemed that it was sometimes used for sleeping also. There was a room in the middle of this room. There was a small bed left, and on both sides of this bed, there were bedspreads on the floor. On one side of the bed there was a small washroom, the condition of which seemed to be rarely used. I looked at the atmosphere from the ceiling walls, took stock, but did not see anything interesting. I came down and got busy talking to my aunt. After some time, the outside door opened and a fair, busty, and beautiful girl in white school uniform entered the house. I was surprised by the way she came. I came to know that she was my aunt's daughter. If I had seen her somewhere else, I probably wouldn't have been able to recognize her because her complexion had completely changed. Her complexion was as white as milk, her face was spotless, her long, thick hair was tied in the form of a mat because of the sunlight. Her body was glowing white. The tanned skin was giving evidence of the beginning of her youth. She came and gave a quick salute, to which I replied in a good manner, but she did not show any special attitude and went inside the room to change her clothes. And after having food, she opened her books and got busy in studies. I started talking to her about studies. She was just replying to my words casually. Apart from that, she was not talking about anything else. When I asked, she told that she is studying in 9th class, and these days great teases are going on in her school. I started talking to my aunt and her son, but my mind was going towards her again and again. She was ignoring me as much as I was having fun. I had no bad thoughts about her, but still I was attracted towards her and wanted her to talk to me. But she was engrossed in her studies and was doing shows like I Am Not Even Present There. Everyone used to sleep on the terrace at night. Auntie had spread me a bed on the cot on one side. She was sleeping on the cot close to Auntie. Everyone had slept, but I was thinking about her. I had come from home with the intention of staying at my aunt's house only for 2 days, but now I did not feel like going because of her. Everyone was asleep, and I was lying down looking at her from a distance, which was in the darkness of the night. I was not able to see her, but still looking at her. I was getting a strange relief. I don't know at what time of the night I fell asleep. When my aunt woke me up in the morning, I started looking at her first. But by then, she was probably had gone to school all day. Kept waiting for her return, but after coming back, she continued her routine of yesterday pretending to be the same. Then I went to the market with Henry, who is Aunt's son, and bought her some things and bought a chocolate for her as well. After coming home, I gave her chocolate, but she refused, saying that I do not like chocolate, and again got busy in her studies. The more she was behaving like a prophet with me, the more attracted I was to go out and have fun. Auntie said, but I did not feel like moving away from her. I just wanted to keep looking at her all the time. That night everyone was sleeping on the terrace when suddenly it started raining. Auntie told me to go inside the room and sleep. There was pitch darkness in the room due to no electricity. I slowly moved to one side of the bed and lay down on a woven floor cloth close to the wall. As soon as I lay down, I fell asleep. After a while, I woke up to the sound of thunder. When I opened my eyes, I realized that there was someone else lying down with me. The light had not come yet, and there was darkness in the room. I thought Henry must have come and lay down with me. At that time, the skylight flashed, which gave a little light in the room, and I saw that it was not Henry but his sister who was lying next to me. She had taken care of me, and I was feeling as if there was no life inside me. Seeing her sleeping so close to me, I was in a state of ecstasy, and I turned towards her. She was lying there completely, as if she was sleeping, as if she did anything she would die. I remained lying in this position for a long time. After some time, she became normal, so I felt like sleeping with her, but I was afraid that if her eyes opened, then lest there be any problem. I had guessed that, because of the darkness in the room, she had come and lay down here. If she had known, she would never have lay down here. Before doing anything, I swear, it was important to understand that whether she was lying here by mistake or intentionally, I placed my hand on her arms in the manner of taking a nap in sleep in such a way that her eyes opened. As soon as my hand touched her, a strange current felt in my body. Her arm was on a silk pillow. As per my plan, when my hand touched her, her eyes opened and she immediately pushed my hand back and sat up and slowly started looking at me as if she was trying to guess what her who is sleeping with me. I was pretending as if I was in a deep sleep and had no clue about the world around me. From my light glances, she came to know that she was sleeping with me instead of Henry. She quickly covered herself with the sheet. I picked her up and went to the other side of the bed and lay down. I took a cold breath and started cursing myself that what was the need to wake her up? At least she was lying near me like this. Now I don't know whether I will get such an opportunity again or not the next day. She behaved the same as before. It didn't seem as if she was reacting to what happened last night. Today she was busy studying with more difficulty than before. When I mustered some courage and asked her the reason for her problem, Aunt instead said, "Told her that she has matte paper tomorrow and she's very weak in matte." I said, "Auntie, don't worry, I will get you prepared." Hearing this, she felt relieved. I sat with her till late night and got her prepared for maths. During this time, I used to prepare for her many times. When my hand touched her hand, it felt like an electric shock. After that, she became somewhat frank with me. Now the next day, when she gave me the paper, she was looking very happy. When I asked, she told me that the paper was very good, and today the papers are also finished. Then she shook hands with me and thanked me that because of you, my paper got better. Taking her soft and delicate hand in my hand, I became a stranger to my senses. After that, I completely lost touch with her. I saw a different look. She'd become very different from me, and for the next 2 days, we chatted a lot. That night, it rained again in the afternoon, and even today, my aunt asked me to go inside and sleep, so I stayed on the other side of the bed in the room. But I came and slept where Henry was sleeping. After some time, my eyes opened. There was complete darkness in the room. At that moment, the lightning flashed, and in that few seconds of light, I felt that instead of Henry, she was sleeping with me. I was like a sock. After lying down like this for a while, I thought that I should wake him up again like this day. Otherwise, if Aunt saw him when the lights came on, or when he woke up in the morning, then I don't know what he would think. Then I hid his arm with my hand in such a way that, thinking that she had fallen asleep, she got up, sat down, and looked at me carefully, and then lay down there again. But I still remained lying there as if, and continued to act like I was sleeping. I was on the side of the wall, and she was on the side of the bed. There was a distance between us. It was very little, but now I can't understand it. I was wondering what to do. I thought of getting up and sleeping on the other side, but then I lay there for 10 minutes. Then with some courage, I moved my hand forward and placed it on her waist. As soon as I placed my hand on her waist, I didn't know what was happening. I kept waiting for some movement from her, but it seemed as if she was sleeping deeply. Then I got more courage. She had a sheet over herself, and I was moving my hands over the sheet for 15 minutes. I kept moving my hand over the sheet like this, but she did not respond. The room was very dark, and there was the sound of heavy rain from outside. Now I got some courage, and I moved a little further. The distance between her and me had reduced considerably, But as soon as he put my hand inside her bed sheet, she immediately held my hand. It was as if I was about to die, but I did not do anything and remained lying down like this. She was holding my hand for a long time. Then she lay down straight and placed my hand on her upper body. By doing this, a sensation spread throughout my entire being, and my heart started beating fast, but I still did not make any move. For some time, she kept my hand on her like this, then came close to me and started whispering in my ear, "I am going to the adjacent storeroom. Come there after some time." Saying this, she turned back and sat down. She started taking stock of the surroundings, then she got up and went out of the room. Hearing this, I was stunned and started thinking that the girl who did not even talk to me was asking me to meet her alone at this time of the night. The lights had not yet come on, and Auntie was sleeping snoring. Then I got up and came out of the room, but because of the darkness, I could not see anything. I started groping towards the store. Now, I was inside the store. As soon as I entered, she caught hold of me and pressed me with her. She was waiting impatiently for me at the door. Then she took me inside and towards the bed, but unfortunately I could not walk with her for more than 5 to 6 minutes. Then I adjusted my clothes and I came secretly and slept with Henry, and she also came to her place and slept.